I really saw that what we consider gods and goddesses and all that, they are form as well. They're subtle form. They're not made out of the material plane, right? But they are form. They're just closer to pure consciousness than the physical body is. They're closer to consciousness than the physical nature is. So of course they seem like they're these amazing, extravagant things. I mean, really think of how these layers work, right? You got these layers of reality. This is described as the four worlds. We also learned from Tatwa Shuddhi, this describes the five sheaths, right? The five layers of existence, from Akash to air to fire to water to the physical earth. This is how it's layered. The closer it is to the bottom, the more it is pure inert matter. And the closer it is to the top, the more it is pure consciousness. And then there's layers in between. So when we have this physical existence and people are like, well, if demons are real, then conjure one up so I can see it. They don't understand the balance of these layers. It's not something that you're going to conjure up and see because it's not made of physical substance. Your eyes are created to be able to detect things within the wavelength spectrum of what the eyes can detect. Spirits, gods, goddesses, demons, angels, what we call those things, are constructed of matter that is not on the same wavelength as the material plane. So there ain't no summon a demon so I can see it. No, that's not how it works. They're not constructed of material that we're used to detecting with our five senses. They're actually constructed of a more subtle, a finer material. That's why they're relegated to the mental plane and the astral plane. The astral plane is a layer of substance, a layer of prakriti, a layer of matter that is vibrating on a different level than what the five senses can pick up. The mental plane is made of even more subtle matter that the five senses definitely can't pick up. You need a mind to conceive of that reality. And then there's an even finer existence, and it keeps getting finer and finer until it's just pure spirit. And once you get to that level, it's not even prakriti anymore. It is beyond. It is unmanifest. It's not manifest, it's unmanifest. It's beyond form. So when we're dealing with these spirits, when we're dealing with these energies, we're dealing with realities that are constructed of subtle material. And if you want to perceive the reality of subtle material, you've got to have subtle equipment. You got to have subtle senses. That's where clairvoyance comes into play. Clairaudience, clairsentience. Those are still the five senses, but they're operating on a subtle plane. The physical body has these eyes that see in a certain wavelength spectrum. That's called vision. Now, vision happens across the board. Physical plane, etheric plane, astral plane, mental plane, spiritual plane. Vision happens on all those, but it's not called vision. It's called the fire element. Now, the fire element is going to manifest on the physical plane as what you see with your eyes. The fire element is going to manifest in the astral plane as clairvoyance. So it's the same context, the same function, but the content is different. Now, vision manifests on the higher planes as well, but because it's created out of a different substance, it's going to be experienced differently. So when we're dealing with these gods and these spirits and these archetypes, we're dealing with matter at its most pristine level, its most pristine rate. And in order for us to work with matter of a pristine nature, it behooves us to create a representative on our own plane. So for me to have something like this, it isn't simply just a pretty crystal unicorn. This is a representative of something that exists on a subtle plane. And this is how I am reminded of that subtle essence. This is what we use idols and statues and yantras and figures for, being able to connect with something that exists on another plane. It's called correspondence, the principle of correspondence. So yeah, these spirits and these demons, these angels and all that stuff, they do exist, but they're made of a material that is undetectable by the five senses that we're used to. So if we want them to be detectable, we've got to create their replica or something for them to work with within our plane. Let me know if that makes sense. Good, good, good. All this information should be making your magical experience easy as fuck. There should be no struggle after that right there. There should be no struggle after that right there.
I said do the magical work. Practice.